Other administrative requirements. The chapter discusses school requirements that are not directly related to student aid or academics, such as required policy procedures of campus security and fire safety. Safety requirements. Schools. The safety chapter 8 highlights are safety requirements, reporting foreign sources and gifts, anti-lobbying provisions, voter registration with citations. Title 34 Code of Regulations 668, 46, 49, 46H, and 46G, Emergency Response Activations, Missing Persons, and Fire Safety Log. Reporting crimes. The school must have a policy encouraging complete timeliness reporting of all crimes. Campus police, appropriate law enforcement agencies, of school participation in federal student aid programs. Having the campus policy security department must maintain a written, easily understood daily crime log. The log must list any crime that is dated and was reported by the campus police security department or that occurred on the campus non-compliance building or property or on public property, or within the police security department patrol jurisdiction. This log must include the nature, date, and time, the general location of each of the crimes, disposition, and the complainant if known. School must make an entry in addition to entry of the log within 2 business days, Monday, Friday, except the date of the school and was closed, reporting the information of the campus policy, the security department, unless the disclosure is prohibited by law and otherwise jeopardizes confidential victim. The school must withhold one or more of the required pieces of information that is clear and convincing evidence that release the information jeopardizes ongoing criminal investigation or the safety of an individual, cause suspect to flee, the evade detection, or result in destruction of evidence. However, the school disclosing information withheld on any of the reason adverse effect is no likely to occur. The school must make a criminal log that for most recent 60-day period of the public inspection during the normal business hours. The school must make any of the portion of the log order older than 60 days available for the 2 business days to request the public inspection. Reporting campus security of the fire safety data to the Department of Education. Security fire safety survey data is collected through the department's campus crime and security website. It requires password and user ID. It's surveys.ope.ed.gov-security. Fire safety requirements were added on the Higher Educational Opportunity Act, HEO, of 2008, the HEA 485A, and Title 34 Code of Regulations 668-49. Fire safety. The school has an on-safety student housing facility maintaining the ready, easily understood log record of the date of the fire was reported. Any fire occurred on the campus student housing facility log must include the nature, date, time, general location of each fire. School must make an entry in addition with the entry to log in with 2 of the business days receipt of the information. Make the fire log in the most recipient 60-day period of the public inspection during the normal business hours, making any portion of the log older than 60 days available within 2 business days of the request of the public inspection. The school must annually submit a copy of the fire safety statistics to the department, including the fire safety statistics in its annual campus community. Definitions. On a student campus, housing facilities, dormitory, or other residential facilities students is located on the school campus. Campus buildings are property owned and controlled and instituted with the same responsible by an institute with the same responsibility continuous geographic area, used an institution in direct support of the manner related to institutional educational purposes, including residential halls. A missing person procedure, privacy, right to act requirements of the school to establish missing person procedures to provide privacy, right of action to any person enforcing provision to enforce provision of subsection creating a cause of an action against this institution of higher education, any employee institution for any liability. HEOA Section 48G and HEA Section 485J, effective date August 14, 2008. Missing procedures. The school provides a campus studying house of the facility, establishes missing student notification policy, including the description of its policy and annual security report of the campus community. Notification of the policy include all listed title of the person or organization to which the student employs other individuals. School reported that a student has a missing of 24 hours, requiring that any missing student reported is referred immediately to the school police or campus security department. If the school does not have such a department, it must refer the report to the local law enforcement agency in the jurisdiction area, including the option that each student identifying the contract with person of the school should notify the 24 hours of termination, school police, campus security department, local law enforcement, and the student is missing. Student must advise that the contact information was registered confidentially. Information will be accessible to the authorized campus official that must be disclosed except for the law enforcement personnel and furtherance in a missing person investigation. If they are underage of 18 years of age or not anticipated at school, and not emancipated, the school must notify the custodial parent and guardian within 24 hours of the determination the student is missing, in addition with notifying additional contact person designated by the school. The school will notify local law enforcement agencies within 24 hours of the determination the student is missing, unless the law enforcement agencies that need is made in the determination the student is missing. When the student is on the campus, student housing facility is determined to have been. When a student who resides on campus, student housing facility is determined to have been missing for 24 hours. The school must, within 24 hours, contact the person if the student has been designated one. Student custodial parent. If student is less than 18 years of age and is not emancipated. The case of all schools must inform local law enforcement agency jurisdiction area that 24 hours that the student is missing. Publishing procedures. The school must publicize an emergency response evaluation procedure in conjunction with at least one test year per calendar year. The school must document each test with a description on the exercise, stating the date and time, indicating whether it is announced or unannounced. Definition of the test: regular scheduled drills, exercises, appropriate follow-through, activities designated, assessment, evaluation, emergency plans, and activities. Crimes reported on campus communities: criminal homicide, murder, non-neglect, manslaughter, negligent manslaughter. 2 second offenses: forcible sex offenses, non-forcible sex offenses, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, motor vehicle theft, arson, arrest with liquor, law violation, drug law violation, illegal weapons possession. B. Personal not included in paragraph C1. B. Or 8A. This section will refer to the campus disciplinary action for liquor law violation, drug law violations, and illegal weapon possession. Title 34, 668, 46. The institution must report and categorize the prejudges following the crimes reported in law policy agencies, the campus security authority, manifest of evidence, which is intentional selected pre-cause of the victim's actual perceived race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, ethnic disability, and crime reports pursuant to the paragraphs C11 through B7 of this section. The crimes of larceny, theft, simple assault, intimidation, destruction, damage, vandalism, property, any other criminal involving body injury. Emergency response evacuation. School must develop emergency response evacuation procedure, including description procedure and annual security report of the campus community. The school must develop procedure immediately notify the campus community confirmation significant emergency dangerous situation involving immediate threat of the health and safety student employees occurring on the campus. At a minimum, the school must have the procedures confirm the signifying emergency dangerous situation as described as this above. Determine an appropriate segment of the segments of the campus community to receive notification of the content of the notification intent of the notification system, disseminating emergency information to a large community, and this emergency response evaluation procedures on at least annual basis, including announced and unannounced tests. Schools must comply with the list of titles of the person and organization responsible for determination within an emergency dangerous situation, except for the other authorized initiated notification that includes the information of the annual report. In the event of the emergency dangerous situation, the school must without delay take into account of the safety community, determine the content notification, initiate the notification, unless with the notification will the professional judgment, responsibility, authority compromise efforts to assist a victim or to contain response or otherwise mitigate the emergency. Definition: timely warning, notification of school in the manner is timely that is timely will aid the prevention of similar crimes, reporting the campus community on the crimes that are include campus crime statistics such as arson, robbery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, aggravated assault, criminal homicide, sexual offense. This is such full listing in the sidebar on the previous page. Report of the local police agency, campus security authorities as defined under the school statements of the current campus policies. Consider the school representatives a threat to the considered to be by schools to represent a threat to the students and employees of the school is required to provide timely warning respect of the crimes reported in a pastoral professional counselor. If the immediate threat of the health of the students employees occurring on the copies of the must follow the emergency notification procedures as school must follow its emergency notification procedures as required in some issue timely warning based on the same circumstances. However, the school must provide adequate follow-up information to the community as needed. Reporting information to foreign sources or gifts. The federal law requires that most 2 years, 4 years post-secondary schools, whether or not school is eligible to participate in federal student aid program, to report ownership control of the foreign sources as well as contracts within gifts or gifts to the same foreign source along with a combined value of $250,000 more for a calendar year. See Volume 2, Chapter 8 of the Federal Student Handbook for more information. Anti-lobbying provisions. Prohibitions of federal state funds. A federal state fund may not be used to pay any person trying to influence a member of Congress, employee, or a member of Congress, an officer or employee of the Congress agency. Prohibition applies to making the federal grant loan avail, awarding federal contracts, and sharing the federal cooperative agreements with as well extension of the continuing renewal, amendment, and modification federal contract and grant loan cooperative agreement. In addition, with the federal state funds may not be used to hire registered lobbyists to obtain a pay and entry in any security earmark. Schools receiving federal student aid funds will certify their compliance with the requirements annually. Campus-based disclosures. If the school receives over more than $100,000 in campus-based funds and have not non-federal funds to pay any person lobby activities in the connection with the campus-based program, the school must submit disclosure of standard triple L for the Department of Education. The school must update a disclosure at least quarterly. When they changes occur, the disclosure for the form must be signed in Chief Executive Office or the CEO, otherwise individual who has authority to sign on behalf of the entire school. The school is advised in retaining a copy of itself. The school must require certification, including the award documentation for all sub-awards on all tiers, including subcontracts and sub-grants, contracts under the grants, loan, cooperative agreements, and subscriptions shall certify disclosing accordingly. Voter registration. Schools in most states, District of Columbia must make a good effort to distribute the voter registration from their students at school. Idaho, Minnesota, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Wyoming, except for the requirement that the school must make a registration forms which are available for the student. Must individual distribute the forms to degree to certificate seek of the federal student eligible students. The school can mail paper copies, alternatives distribute the voter registration forms electronically transmitted to each of the student messages containing acceptable voter registration from the internet addresses. Whether they can be downloaded, electronic messages must be devoted exclusively to the voter registration. If the states with the conditional applies, the school must request the voter registration forms for the state in 120 days of the state deadline for registering to the vote. The provisions apply to the general special elections for federal offices, elections of governors, chief executives within the state. A school does not receive the forms in 60 days prior to the deadline for the registry of the voting of the state. It is not liable for failing to meet the requirement during election year. And this Blue Book Volume 1. Volume 1, Elements of Institution Eligibility.